And there we are, up on top of Cheehaw Mountain on vacation. I like this one because there's a swimming pool up on top of this beautiful mountain, Cheehaw Mountain. At the top of the mountain, you're swimming on top of the mountain, and you're looking out at the top of another mountain. Anyway, it's really fun. I don't know if it's coming over good, but we're kind of in a cloud right there now, so it's kind of foggy. But anyway, just thought I'd put this picture up so you have something to look at while I'm talking about the subject I had on my mind this morning. It's called piling up brush. I piled up a lot of brush in my lifetime. Some of these videos, I feel like I'm piling up brush. But every once in a while, it'll stop being God's Spirit will take over and it'll quit being piling up brush. I remember when I first heard the saying piling up brush, I was riding around down in the country. I saw this old, well, they call them old Baptist. It was way back in the sticks. And I saw it sitting off the road there, and there's about 2 or 3 cars there. And so I decided to go in. So I go in the back door, and I sit on the back. I go in, and I sit on the back row. And there's a handful of people in there, and I came back there and said welcome, and treated me like I was a long-lost friend. And I thought to myself, these are nice people. Well, anyway, turns out that, these people believe like I have on my videos now. They believe in the sovereign grace of God, the unconditional love of God for a people. And they treat people right. But anyway, to make a long story short, there was this guest there was this man from way off 100-something miles. He drove an old car there with his wife, and he was in bad health, barely could walk. He gets up and he just sits there mostly. He didn't have any kind of message prepared. And he just when the Spirit would hit him, he would say something, and then it'd be quiet, and it was like it was like he wasn't going to say anything unless he felt like it was God. And so after a while, he said, I'm just piling up brush, so I think I'm gonna sit down. But everything he said was true. I agreed with him, everything he said. He didn't believe that the gospel was the means of the new birth, what they would call gospel means. Anyway, that was kind of in his message. But at the end of his thing, he said, I'm just piling up brush now. That means you're not in the Spirit, you're in the flesh. So God's people can be in the flesh one moment and then in the Spirit the next moment. So I know when I try to make these videos that when I'm piling up brush, sometime on my songs, really I wish I could take about half of them down. When you're forcing something, you're really just piling up brush. But when the Spirit tells you something, it's right, it's right. Incidentally, I made a song the other day. So that when I wasn't piling up brush, I was singing about, oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. And I've done this in the past, but then God gave me a few lines there about, oh, what a friend. I didn't even, it was just kind of improv. All my songs that any count, the guy, it's kind of impromptu. You know, you're just depending on God to give you the words. That's what this video is going to be, really. But anyway, piling up brush. But anyway, I'm not going to make a really long video. I hope I don't, but it looks like it's going to be a long one. Just rambling around. I got my coffee here. But this was a good old memory. But anyway, piling up brush. What I wanted everybody to do is, anybody listen to my video, go to the top of my playlist. And when it's talking about the unconditional love of God for the child of grace. It's right at the top. Up under there's a little, I can think about the second video. It says the unconditional love of God for the child of grace. That I wasn't piling that brush back then on that video, I don't believe, but it goes into some detail. Somebody got some time on their hand and want to listen to something, kind of an overall view of what I think. But anyway, I like put this little picture up here. We're in the clouds. That's why it's kind of foggy, and that's on a Moors reunion. I married a Moor. The Moors, I believe they stepped off the boat. But, you know, they wasn't the first ones here, but they were some of the first ones that down here in the South, anyway. But the Indians were here first. But anyway, we go to the Moors reunion. We used to go to the Moors reunion. They'd be there from everywhere, and they'd be up on top of this mountain, Mount Cheaha. They had a cabin. They'd ran all them little motels up there. They had a swimming pool. The kids loved it up there on top of that mountain. But anyway, and it gets hot up on top of the mountain too down here in Alabama. I don't care if you're in a valley or a mountain, it's hot. But that's probably the biggest mountain we got around here, what we call mountains. But anyway, I'm not going to do a video or talk about much today except go to my playlist on the top if you want to, see my overall view of things. No, a lot of times I'm piling up brush down here on my videos, and I know it when I'm doing it. But in order for, but sometimes in the video you're not piling up brush, so you have to wade through all the brush to wood, hay, and stubble to get to the Spirit-inspired words. That's just the way it goes, brother. But anyway, just want to get on here and say a few words to somebody out there that might be listening, to a child of grace. Brothers and sisters, you hear me saying child of grace all the time. I never will forget. It was in that little building, little country church, the simplest people in the world. They didn't have any money. In fact, they invited me to eat after. They always invite you to eat. I love that. Yeah, here, stay and eat. They'll have, they won't have much, but they'll have, you can tell. Old cars and old truck, and the poorest people in the world, but they had love, and they had the truth. They knew about sovereign love of God for a special, great multitude of people, and that's where I learned what I put on my videos for the most part. But anyway, just want to come on in and tell you, and I guess I'll call this one the piling up brush. Brothers and sisters, we pile up brush. I piled up enough brush to fill up a stadium. But every once in a while, the Spirit of God will give me something to say, I believe. Peace and love from Miss Old Boy. But anyway, don't forget to go to that top of my playlist where I wasn't piling that brush when I said the unconditional love of God for the child of grace. Peace and love, brothers and sisters, from Miss Old Boy down here in Alabama.